Hello and welcome to Diamonds and Dew, aka Lee K. This is part two. The reason it's part two is because part one got messed up. I ended up with a 22-second not a good thing. Time lapse. Couldn't think of the word. Anyway, first and foremost, as I had stated in the original one, just to let everybody know the major announcement is that on the 7th at 7 p.m. we will be doing a live for everybody to enjoy. Even though Lenore, the first time around, said she didn't hear about it, she did. Don't let her fool you. She's just trying to throw me under the bus. But anyway, other than that, I want to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed to us. And I do say us because this is, after all, a dual effort. Excuse me. So I want to say thank you to everybody that subscribed to us. It is greatly appreciated. More than you will know. And I want to say thank you for all the comments and well wishes as well. They also mean a great deal to us. They are very important, as you are, to what we do. So without further delay, yes, that's the word. Thank you very much. Let's get to the comments again. She's bored. This is her second time around.
Jamu Herbal.
Jamu.
Jamu. Hello, friend. Good morning, my friend. 4 hearts.
Hey! 4 hearts.
Yay.
Yay. 4 hearts. Thank you, Jamu. Welcome to the club. Hope you don't mind a little bit of insanity, because you never know what we're going to do here, or what's going to be said.
Because we don't know what we're going to do.
Exactly. We don't know what we're going to do here either. I mean, So you might as well sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Next.
This next one is from Random
No name. Her name is Olivia.
Oh, Olivia. Okay. Love the Lee and Lenore show. You guys sit with me at my dining room table every time I diamond paint. My husband works in law enforcement on a night shift, and you guys always make me feel like I'm not so alone. Your laughter is contagious. I admire that your channel is original and not a cookie cutter version of other creators. You guys are my favorite for many reasons, but the one especially. But for that one especially, if I could read, I'd be dangerous. Lenore, I heard about you singing Amazing Grace, and I know I missed out on something spectacular. It was my mother's favorite song, and it was even played at her funeral, and I know it would have brought me peace to hear it once more. Your community is truly one like no other. The amount of joy and peace it brings is unmatched. Lenore, I'm happy you're going to start diamond painting as well. You'll enjoy it. Who knows? You might just steal the show. Blessings to you both. Olivia.
Yeah, I already said this once,
Say it again.
and I guess I'm going to have to say it again. Nobody's stealing my show. She can join in and she can take part, but she is not stealing my show. Well, I suppose it's our show, but she's not stealing anything.
No. You're your partner in all things, darling.
That is the truth.
Yeah.
And as I said before, even though you didn't hear it because it went through a 22-second download that was just like, okay, what the heck happened to everything? I know I sent you Jenny's channel. And I'll link it again on this one if I can figure out what I did right the last time that I didn't do right this time. But then you'll be able to hear it again because she sings Thursday nights on Jenny's lives, except this week because Jenny will be at a retreat. Next.
All right, I just want to say what I said
Oh.
before too. I truly understand what you're talking about, being alone, because Lee was in private security most of the years of our marriage, and quite often holidays, evenings, he was busy working, and sometimes it gets real lonely.
Especially when you're working 26 hours over Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes, I worked at 26 hours straight over Christmas, and no, I did not sleep. Although I warned the guy I just might because they couldn't get me relief.
Also didn't eat.
Yeah, didn't eat
drink.
either. Yeah, it was not a good time.
And this next one comes from Happy Little Drills. Another fantastic whip and chat. I look forward to listening to them. They make me laugh. They make me laugh too.
Yeah.
You remind me of my hubby.
And I.
And me. Always teasing each other. Lenore, I heard you sing on Tim's Live the other day. Your voice. Can't wait to hear more. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Looks like her voice is starting to die.
Yeah. And this comes from Diamonds and Doxies?
Yeah, Diamonds and Doxy.
And Doxy.
As in Dachshunds.
It says Doxies.
I know.
Great whip and chat, Lee and Lenore. Thank you.
Yes, I appreciate it. And I appreciate all of your comments, all of your questions, all of whatever you have to offer, because I know, coming from personal experience, I will go through whip and chats and I will, hit the thumbs up button, but I am getting better at actually leaving comments. So I know how appreciative I am when people leave me one. So I gotta start trying to make sure I do the same thing when I see people's whip and chats. Next.
This is from Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Hello, LNL. I can say that I am fortunate enough to have visited my family's ancestral country. My dad is from the U.S., but my mom is from the Philippines. I remember being at the courthouse for her naturalization party. When I grew up, I was in Phoenix, and from there it was still 22 hours of travel to the island where she grew up. You realize how much you take for granted when you don't have it anymore. I can certainly agree with that.
Yes, I can too. And sometimes it's not necessarily a loss because of passing. Sometimes it's just family rifts. So I do know what that's like. My brother and I didn't speak for years because of a family rift. Which we are now, of course, speaking. Of course, I hope so. He is living in our house.
We all live together.
But nonetheless, so I do understand it all too well.
Mine is because of deaths. The only remaining close blood relative I have is my brother Bob. I've lost 4 half-brothers and a brother, my parents, my grandparents. Because I'm 75 years old, everybody goes away. But I still miss them, and Bob and I are very close.
Yep.
This next one is from Cindy.
Cindy.
I would miss the Lenore and Lee show for anything. I wouldn't miss the Lenore and Lee show for anything. Lee's gonna get upset. So have you taken any pictures yet? You have a camera. Take one right now. Lenore, you are very lucky for the good second grade memory. My teacher made my grandma cry because of a sweater. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Lenore, for singing Amazing Grace. You have such a beautiful voice. Great story about your aunt, Lee. Hope you have more. Acronyms can be confusing. I still don't know what AMSR means. Laugh out loud. Well, no question this time, but I will be watching you too. Have a great week, and see you soon on LL.
Leopard Letterworks.
Lee.
So, oh, yes, you will.
Yes, you will.
But I do appreciate the comments. I appreciate the thoughts. I am glad you do enjoy, because that's why we do this. Well, one of the reasons. The other reason is because I'm having fun doing it, actually. But nonetheless,
You guys doing the live?
yeah, it's not a live. It's a recording. Sorry about that. My brother was just asking me a question on our way through. Anyway,
You done?
I don't know. What was I saying?
I don't know.
Squirrel! So anyway, whatever it was, it must not have been too important. So therefore, there it is.
This next one comes from Crime Cafe Live.
Jenny!
Jenny. Hey, Lee and Lenore and brother. I hope you three are doing well this week. I can't wait to see Lenore's journey into diamond painting alongside you. Lee, I wish my husband would diamond paint, but he refuses. He says it makes him anxious. Go figure. It does the complete opposite for the rest of us who love it. I'm not surprised though. He prefers heavy metal music, whereas I prefer 80s classic jams. Haha, opposites attract. But I don't have to tell you all that. You both bring such joy and humor, Lee, to the community each and every day.
Whatever do you mean? I keep telling you, I'm just me. I can't behave like anybody else, so what you see is what you get.
Get it even though you don't see it.
Yeah, really.
Okay, the next one is Spillin' the Drills.
Fill in.
And I don't see it. Oh, 2 hearts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I missed it.
Thank you for the hearts.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
the enjoyment.
Yes.
We do appreciate it. We love when people enjoy what we're doing. Even though we sometimes wonder if what we're doing is
Enjoyable.
enjoyable. Yes.
Not for us, for you.
No.
It is
Yes.
for us.
Well, that's because you get to rag on me without getting into trouble.
I never get in trouble anyways. Think about this, Lee.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So anyway, next.
Scrapping Sylvia.
Yep.
Hi, Lee. Just sub.
Hey!
Sent by Angie.
Thank you. Yes, Angie Sparkle Addiction, which I gotta put in the comments if I can do it right this time. I have such a hit and miss of trying to put links into the description. But that's okay, I'll get it right one of these days. I did it last week, but for some reason or other I tried it this week with the original video and it didn't work. But that's okay, I'll try it again. Don't you dare come down with anything.
I think I got something.
You come down with anything, you're gonna give it to me.
Oh, you already gave
And I got enough problems as it is. Anyway.
Can I go on now?
Yep, you can go on now.
Okay. Tammy, short?
Yep.
Okay.
That's your Tamitha.
That's mine, Tamitha, yes.
Or Timothy, actually.
Timothy, yeah. And Timothy says, Lee, I'm not tired.
I don't care, go to bed anyway.
Lenore, thank you so much for your kind words and for reading my entire comment. I really thought Lee would split it into multiple women chats.
Okay, that's enough.
I really do think the two of you are beautiful souls.
Nope. Save the rest of it next week.
Yes, Lee picks on me, but I pick on him just as much.
Wait a minute, I said save the rest for next week.
Oh, I'm in charge of the comments. You sit there and diamond paint.
I don't care. So anyway.
Now I lost my voice. See what he does to me.
Tamitha.
Yes, Lee picks on me,
Timothy.
but I pick on him just as much. We do it out of love, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I told my mom that I'd love to meet the both of you and all of my Discord crew. Lee already made it known he wouldn't let me sit in the corner. I always think I'm in the way, but he assured me I wouldn't be. You wouldn't be, honey. I hope you both and your brother are doing well today. I pray for each of you daily. I love you two very, very much.
Nobody puts Timothy in a corner.
We love you too, honey.
They try to put Timothy in a corner and then they'll have to deal with me.
Oh, Lord, don't.
You don't want to deal with me.
No.
You know, I'm kind of like what Bruce Banner used to say. Don't make me angry. You really wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Who said that?
Bruce Banner,
Oh, Bruce Banner, yes.
a.k.a. the Hulk.
I thought you said Ruth Banner or
No.
something. I'm saying, who?
No. Bruce. Come on, open your ears.
Well, it's not. It's my nostrils that are clogged up. And this comes from Jackie. Hi, Lee and Lenore. I love listening to you both. Lee, I didn't see where you replied to my message. That is okay. Computer technology is interesting. I did embroidery and counted cross-stitching, but the cross-stitching was stamped on the material. They were okay, but I love doing diamond painting. I am working on one that is a cross.
Cross stitch conversion.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Love the dog story. I have a big dog. He is a rat terrier mix. The name is Snoopy. Have a wonderful day.
Hang on, Sloopy. No, she said Snoopy. Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind.
Okay, all right, never mind.
All right, fine.
This one comes from Melanie,
Melanie, Iber.
and it is bonjour. Hello. You are making great progress on your diamond painting, Lee. Still love that pen and can see why you love the baseball bat end. Is there a color drill that you like the most in that canvas? Each one I do, there seems to be a color I prefer the most. Question for this week. What is your favorite book or author and why? Would you like to make your comment now?
I'll wait till it comes out to the movies, then I'll ask it. You know. That's it. That's my favorite author, the movies.
Yeah. Well, my favorite author is John Steinbeck, and my favorite book that he wrote is Grapes of Wrath. I read it when I was a teenager. That was a long time ago. But I could feel the people's emotions in his words, and that made me understand a lot of stuff I wouldn't have understood. So that's why he's my favorite author, and that is my favorite of his stories.
Yeah. And as far as the color drill, there's actually a couple of them on here that are really nice. 666, the red one. Not because of the number, mind you, even though my wife is about to say yes. But the color of the drill is really, really neat. I like the depth of that red.
It is pretty.
The other one is a blue one. At the moment, I can't. There it is. Well, it's sort of a bluish purple.
Oh,
It's a 798. It's in some of the water that's in this painting. It's really nice. Um, but you are right. I understand that because I did have a couple of, like, I had a custom canvas of my cats done when I first started diamond painting. That was one of the first ones I did. And a couple of unlicensed from Amazon, like we all go through, you know. But so yeah, each one had a color that just kind of struck me because I don't technically have a per se favorite color, but there are favorite colors within a canvas that I like.
good. And they're always.
So next,
Oh, Cindy did that.
huh?
Cindy did that.
What is that? Oh, you're bleeding.
Yeah, she attacked.
Cindy attacked.
Cindy.
Cindy. Da, 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 da. I was gonna blame it on Cindy anyway. Cinnamon attacked Lenore and made her
She was
arm
only
bleed.
playing. She was only playing.
She was joking around, you know, being a typical kitten.
This last one is from Tren.
Yep.
Great chat. Love the story of your boob-bearing auntie, Lee. You come from a hilariously bold people.
Uh-huh. That is true. And you missed the story I told the first time around of my loving father who relished in telling dirty jokes to a nun. A nun, by the way, that was the boss, I believe she was the boss of my aunt, who was a teacher in a Catholic school. She wasn't a nun, but she was a teacher. Yeah, she was. She was a sweetheart. Died way too young of cervical cancer. Yeah. But nonetheless, he would relish in telling her dirty jokes, including some, for long story short version, as opposed to the last one I told, with visual aids.
Yeah. I don't believe he did that.
Yes, he did. The head was colored right and everything. So yeah, you get the idea of what he did. But he was another one that didn't really have any shame per se. He had tact. He knew when to and when not to. But give him half a chance and you're in trouble. Because he'd take it and then some. But he was funny. So anyway, other than that, we got stories to tell about some of that stuff anyway.
Talk about your mother.
Ma?
Mm-hmm. Swimming around.
Oh, yes. My mother, I think I told this before, but I don't remember, so I'll tell it again anyway. We had a pool in the backyard, and my mother loved to float. Okay? She loved just laying. She would actually lay in the pool and fall asleep floating in the pool. One day, I am home, and I'm in my room, but I hear the front door. So I answer the front door, and it's the police wanting entry. So I was trying to find out what was going on, and they said they got a report of a dead body in the backyard. And they were there to investigate. Right away, I knew what it was. So I said, she's not dead. So I had to take the cop out back and show him, my mother floating in the water. Now, my mother's sound asleep. Her arms are outstretched. You know, she looks like she's laying on a cross. Okay. Sound asleep. Couldn't hear anybody because her ears were underwater. So I literally had to jump in the pool to get her attention. I got her attention. She woke up and she's looking at the cops going, "What did you do?" I said, "I didn't do a damn thing. You did. They seem to think that you're a dead body." Everybody had a good laugh, including the cops. And they said that they were going to tell the helicopter pilot, because we had a airport not too far from us, and they were going to tell the helicopter pilot, the police helicopter pilot, not to worry when they flew over the house.
I never heard that story.
Yeah. It was funny. It's like, all of a sudden you got cops everywhere. I was like, what the hell?
Well, I heard that you couldn't make her stay.
Oh, yeah, no, we
She
couldn't.
bobbed right up.
That's the other thing. We couldn't make her stay down. She could not. She would try to touch the bottom of the pool at the shallow end. The shallow end was 3.5 feet deep. She could not reach down to the shallow end to touch the pool with her hands because she would bob right back up. She couldn't. Her buoyancy was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So my brother and I brought her down to the deep end, which was 9.5 feet. We are 6'7", 6'6", respectively. And we brought her down to the other end, and when she was ready, we grabbed her ankles and we pulled her down to the bottom. And when we pulled her down to the bottom, we made sure that we were crouched down. Okay? And we jumped up when we let her go. We jumped up when we let her go. She was already laying at the top of the pool, laying out flat. You know, it's like, okay, so in other words, what you're telling me, Mom, is if we ever go on a cruise and we have to go overboard, we will use you as our flotation device. Because she literally could not sink. I would literally lay my arms across her because I couldn't float. I sunk like a stone, no matter what I tried to do. I cannot float. So I would just literally put my arms over her and I just sort of like, okay, I'm going to float around now. And I'd swim and push her around with my arms over her body. Next.
I had, as I mentioned earlier today, I had 4 half-brothers. My father was married prior to marrying my mother. And the oldest of the first family was my brother Klein. Well, his Aunt Dot of the bare boob fell in love with Klein. Klein was married. For many years, Klein was married. But she followed him around like a puppy dog. Dot was, at that time, in her mid-70s.
Mid-70s?
Yeah, and it went through to like the 80s, and she was very much in love with my brother.
She embarrassed herself.
Klein thought it was adorable.
Oh, he loved it. He loved the attention.
Yes, he did. My sister-in-law never noticed. My sister-in-law Alice was a sweet lady. Didn't really notice. And they went on. They had a, because she used to follow him when I would sing at the Continental in Saugus, Massachusetts, and so would Klein, because Klein had started singing along before I did, and because he was quite a bit older than I am. And we would meet in there, Klein and Dot, and me, and
My chair.
Oh. And we had a really good time. We had a whole group, a community like we have with diamond painting. We had a community in there, and we had a good time.
Klein had a voice that you would not believe. 2 or 3.
2.5, 3 octaves. He went from bass to tenor.
Yeah.
In a eye blink, but a good bass and a good tenor.
Yep. Literally in 2 notes.
My other brothers who sang used to say Lenny, who was the tenor of the group, would say he walked all over, Klein walked all over his notes because Klein was up in the tenor regions. But, like my family, Lee's family was into music, country music, which was not what my family was into, but his family was very, very talented on his mother's side. I don't think his father could carry a tune in a bag.
He couldn't carry a tune in a safe.
But his mother's side of the family were very talented people.
They actually had an album out at one time.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the name of it was. But their last name was Eckenberger.
Yeah.
And I believe that's somewhere on the album, but I don't know. I haven't been able to find it.
That's too bad.
But they all sang. Most of them played an instrument. Either banjo or guitar. One played the harmonica. You know, and we would have family reunions every July.
Yeah.
And they were so much fun. And at the end of the night, we would turn around and sing. We'd be in the outside and around the campfire most times, and we would sing around the campfire. It was a lot of fun until that rift I was talking about earlier. But nonetheless, what the heck is with this chair?
My family, on the other hand, my father was born in 1900. So we go way back. And he played piano, had really no musical training, played by ear, but he could also read. So he loved that. His brother Earl played saxophone. Oh, was he wonderful. And he had a certificate to teach violin. All 4 of my brothers, half-brothers, they were my brothers, sang. Johnny not so much, but he could play guitar. But the other 3 were wonderful. And Bobby, the youngest of the youngest altogether, because he was the second family anyway. He sings, he plays. You know, he's very talented. We got it from both sides of the family, from my mother and my father's side. And during the holidays, my father and his brother, my Uncle Earl, none of the girls, he had 2 sisters, and neither one of them ever sang or anything. I guess it just came down to the male gene, I guess, except for me. They would play and sing, and all the harmonies were unbelievable. There's nothing like family harmony. And people would stand outside and listen to them. It would be I shouldn't have said the holidays, except like the 4th of July or something. But the windows would be open and they'd be up there playing and singing and laughing and just having a grand old time.
My mother was one of 13 or 14 kids. The common joke was my grandmother had one in her and one on her at all times. Yeah, so they had their own band and a half.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, most of them either sang or played an instrument. There was only a couple that didn't. Uncle Ray, I don't think, ever sang. My mother could yodel to beat the band.
And she could harmonize too.
And she could really harmonize well, even though she would say, "Oh no, I can't."
Oh yes, you can. Coming from one who can't, I know.
But So yeah, we have music on both sides of our family. On as far as Lenore and I, she has music on hers, and I have music on mine.
I have it on both sides because my mother sang and my dad and his side were all musicians and singers and whatever.
I sound, however, like a cat on a hot tin roof when I sing.
You do not.
Oh, holy
Stop
night.
it. it. Music was the only thing I ever really had growing up. My father worked a good part of his life, died early, died when he was 66. And music was something I always had, and it's something I always needed. So I'd be ever grateful for both sides of the family for that.
Now, getting back to the funny.
What?
Dot.
Don't call my Dot funny.
Leaving the Continental.
Oh, yes.
The Continental is a restaurant in Massachusetts where they had a piano bar. That's one of the places Lenore used to sing. My 76, 77-year-old aunt is lucky to be alive.
Well,
She would go out and go to the Continental and then leave at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And when she left, she would get to the edge of the driveway, or the parking lot, I mean, and then step on the gas and immediately go right into the middle lane.
no.
Did not matter who was there.
Route 1 was a very dangerous.
Yeah, the route she was on, Route 1, is not 93, whatever it's called now. Is not exactly known for safe drivers.
No.
She was one of them. It got to the point that any time she wanted to go out, I had to go with her. Because if I didn't, one of these days we were going to hear about
They're getting picked off.
this van pulling out of the Continental and what's left of a body scraped all over the road.
Yeah.
But it was funny because she would leave. The first time she did it with me, I swear to you, I thought I was going to die. I really did. I mean, I held on to that handle of the door for dear life.
Yep.
And at that point, I said, no more.
Nope.
From now on, I drive. Are you sure? Yes. From now on, I drive. She was an interesting character. Like I said, she had no shame. You know, it's not like she would say, she would hide anything, per se. The problem is that she has so many stories, or there are so many stories surrounding my aunt that they're hard to come up with.
Yeah.
She was jealous. She was jealous of my mother. She was jealous of me because she wanted my father's attention all to herself.
He was a baby brother.
And she could never have that because he was the baby of the family. So she would get jealous and make sure she was, whenever they wanted to go somewhere, she was right there. But, yeah. So I think what we're going to do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Sorry for the screw up of the first part. But at least you got a second one, which is actually kind of more than what you had because the first one wasn't even 30 minutes. So this one hopefully is a little bit more. I haven't looked at the clock, so I don't know. But
Thank you, honey.
you're welcome. Go do your thing. But I appreciate you all being here. So does Lenore. She can't speak right now because she's indisposed. Somehow, some way, somewhere. I was going to have her sing before she left, or before we left, but unfortunately Mother Nature said, nope, sorry, you can't do that. So I will say, like I said before, and like I will always say, thank you very much. I dearly hope you have a wonderful week. We hope to see you on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Tuesday at 7 p.m. For our first live. Be well and be safe.